Hello, my name is Danielle Armstrong and I am the Student Engagement Coordinator here at Stranmillis University. Welcome back to Candid Conversations. Today I am talking to Ian Parkhill, who is a fourth year post-primary student. And we're just going to have a very casual conversation. Ian very kindly agreed to talk to me about mental health and his experiences around mental health over the last few years. So what I'll do is I'll pass over to you, Ian, if you want to tell me a little bit about why you decided to do this.
Yeah, so basically I think it's very easy. I came to Strand, I was the only one from my school that actually came here. So when I came here, I knew no one. And it's very easy when you don't know one to let all your feelings get you and your emotions, and all of a sudden you just start feeling overwhelmed and really lonely. And yet there's so many people around, but you're just stuck in that bubble of loneliness. And just coming here today, I just want to especially for help for freshers, but even people in my year or any year in Strand, just a wee bit about how I sort of overcame that loneliness, really.
Okay. And what you said there's very valid. You know, when people say lonely, everyone around them might expect them to mean because they're in a room on their own, but actually you could be in a room full of people and feel very lonely.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit then about your experience of coming here all on your own, didn't know anyone, and what happened?
Yeah, so before I came here, really, I was an introverted person. Now, most people you speak to now will say, oh, Ian's very extroverted. To this day, I would still say I'm not. I am a very introverted person. I'm very shy. And when I left school, I had a decent bunch of friends, but I never went out as a Christian, never went out, never partied, never did anything like that. So coming here, not knowing anyone, I didn't have that experience of constant social interaction. And living in halls as well didn't help. Moving in with flatmates, not knowing what to do. So coming here, it was quite challenging in terms of that loneliness. And I think with loneliness as well, as I said, it's not, you could be in a room full of 100 people, but when you're not sure if anybody is actually going to accept you for you, that's what makes it a lot harder. So when I sort of came to Strand, my main goal was to try and just do everything, try and meet as many people as possible. And I was very lucky and very, very fortunate to fall in the brown bunch of flatmates who, you know, got me in the flat. They were all from Ballymena. Anybody talked to in Strand's from Ballymena for some weird reason. But they introduced me to each other, and I mean, they've been my best mates since. So I was very fortunate then. But coming here, it was very challenging. I went to an all-boys school as well. So coming in from all boys to mixed setting as well can be quite challenging. And at this time I was experiencing a lot, like in my own house. At this point, my granny wasn't doing well. Mum and dad, you know, were always pushing to obviously do the best you can. My sister was away in Scotland, so I didn't really have her even at home. And it was moving my way from the first time from home for a while as well. And when you have all these feelings sort of bunched up inside yourself, it's very easy for you to just explode. You can't hold these feelings in. So for a while, I used to go out, and as I said, I got involved in everything, met some brilliant people. But when you're trying to fit in or trying to feel less lonely, you want to get involved in any conversation. Like, it's like going into a room and everybody's in their own conversation, and you're just standing there and you're like, what do I do? You want somebody to come to you, but quite often you're sort of saying, right, I'm going to force myself into a conversation. That was one of the worst mistakes I ever made when I started Strand. I started forcing myself into conversations with people just to have that interaction. But then I was telling people a version of me that wasn't actually me. And it works. I'll tell you, it works for a few months. You think, oh, this is grand, I'm starting to talk to people. But then you start to realize that you actually grow more lonely because you're getting involved with people that don't actually know you, don't know your interest. You're getting, you know, talking about stuff that doesn't interest you. And you're extra lonely because you feel like, oh, I'm not fitting in anymore.
Yeah.
And that's one of the hardest things that I think anybody can really experience. We all want to fit in, but a lot of people change who they are for that. So for about me, if you talk to anybody now, they know I'm a massive fan of like Marvel superheroes all growing up. That was my childhood. But coming here, especially when everybody here is talking about something else, they're talking about music, they're talking about maybe what club we're going to, what band, whatever it is, and you've never had that experience in school, you start getting into that and not actually saying what you enjoy. And that was my big problem. And so I started basically just losing myself within Strand, and it just doesn't help. You start to feel very angry at times. And I remember it was really only end of second year that I was like, I need to change. I need to just admit. And so I started going back and just talking to people and was like, I love Marvel, I love this. And it started making me feel more like me. And even though some people will turn away, like when you'll know who's a real friend when they stay with you at your interest and know who you really are. Those who walk away, they weren't meant to be for you. And that's what I personally believe. So luckily, again, my flatmates this day still really, really helped me and were a big blessing. But yeah, it's very difficult. But even though some people walked away, that sense of loneliness starts to disappear because you're actually meeting people who like you for you.
Yeah.
And that was really the biggest thing when I came here. So yeah, it was one of my stronger parts.
Okay. One of the things I'll pick up on that you said there was that when you are almost wearing this mask of pretending to be into the bands and the music and what everyone else is into, it can make you feel very angry because you feel lost in yourself. You don't know who you are anymore. You're trying to be somebody that you're not.
Yeah.
The anger that you felt, what did you do with that? How did you express that?
When I used to go home at the weekends, and when I got angry, you can ask my mum nowadays, like I used to just take it out on people without even realising. If something didn't go my way, I just used to yell, just used to let go. When it's in work, if I got fed up in work, it's like, nah, I can't be bothered. Or I started arguing with someone over something so simple. I worked in Tesco, so customer relations was obviously a difficult thing. And then I used to take my anger out there. And I think it's very easy to do that. Or the other way was at that point, it was sort of start of second year, I started going to the gym. One of my methods was to go to a gym and just hit a punching bag as hard as I could and take all my anger out in that, which is definitely not good for your mental health. People will tell you it's better to hit it out in something else than in people. Whilst that's correct, still just constantly forcing your anger out instead of trying to understand it and understand where it's coming from is a big issue. So I used to try and punch my anger out and just used to yell at people, taking out on others. And I actually started noticing the impact that it was having on other people just because I couldn't face my own problems. And so that idea again, I think it's that idea of facing your own problems, what's going on in your own head. It's very isolating. You try and hide it from people. You don't really want to talk about people because you're afraid that they're going to judge you. But I've also learned, I've been speaking to one of my best friends in work. Again, he's been a real blessing in my life. And I was speaking to him about this the other day, and I found out he went through the same thing.
Okay.
And a lot of the things I would hear about and see you in Stram, which has also been a big help as a family, people's testimonies and stuff, you're not alone in what you're going through. And it's okay to speak to people.
Yeah.
It's okay to say out loud. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here today. Talk about that.
Yeah. And what you said is so true there about the anger is punching a bag isn't going to do anything because it's not helping you process it.
Yeah.
And something that we probably should point out is that anger is actually a secondary emotion. So anger would be an emotion that would be coming out because you don't know or you can't or you don't understand what to do to process the emotions that is leading to the anger. And so for you already realised that. You realised that this isn't helping me because I need to understand and work on what is causing me to feel this way. And what did you do? So you talked to someone in work and you obviously see you, but how did you get to the point where you went, this is happening because I'm not being myself? Like, that's a big thing to say.
Yeah.
So how do you take that leap and go, right, that's it, I'm not doing this no more?
Yeah. My experience is very different. I said at this point, I would have went. I was at the time, it was only me and my sister and my family that are Christian. And my granny was a Christian, but my sister's around Scotland. So every Friday, I would have went down after work, after uni, and see my granny. And just had a good conversation, usually about faith. But my granny had a sense. She could just tell when something was wrong with me. And we had this whole conversation. The quote she told me was this, and I never forget this. It was like, if people don't accept you for you, God didn't make them for you. He's opened the door for someone else. You just need to find that. And that stuck with me. And I remember as well, I needed to talk to people. I sort of spoke to my granny about it. And I remember that just feeling that sense of relief, the weight off your shoulders. Because as I said, all your emotions stores up inside you. And the best way of getting rid of it is to just talk to someone who's there to listen. And even nowadays, people are going through, one of the best things you can do is just listen. That is a very powerful tool. But yeah, so as soon as I started seeing the impact this having on my mum and my dad, and they were also going through stuff at their own time. My granny passed away and my dad had to go through that, and I didn't want to be anymore. I was like, okay, I'm going to start speaking out about this. I messaged my closest friends, told them what I was going through, and they offered to do FaceTime calls and just speak to me in general. And I remember coming into uni and I was praying to God constantly. So my faith was a big thing. But even for those who don't have faith, talk to those people around you that you really trust.
Yeah.
And praying was a big thing, talking to friends, and I remember just hearing testimonies and being brave about it. Again, one of my things was, I said, growing up Marvel, being a fan. I remember that actually shaped my sort of strength to come out, because I realized at times, to help people, sometimes you don't need superpowers to do it. You can just share your voice and share your story, and that helps anyone. So the main thing was really my granny, that conversation, and what she told me, but it was also having that friendship group that I was able to do it. And I know there's going to be people maybe who are lonely and don't have that friendship group. I'm telling you now, you've got strong support here. You've got lecturers, you've got people around CU. I'm sure Exec would love to talk to you, and just say to anyone.
Yeah.
Because I can promise you, you're not alone in that.
Yeah.
And that took me a while to process. You're not alone. And yeah, so that's what really stood out to me in that.
Yeah. And just to hit on that point that you're not alone, the fact that you were brave enough and strong enough to even talk to your friend in work and say, this is what I'm going through. And he was able to say, me too. Yeah. And I think sometimes when you're feeling low or you're feeling lonely or you're anxious or your mental health isn't great, sometimes you can feel like you're the only person experiencing that. But when you find somebody else who can say, I know what you're going through here, I completely understand, instantly that can help you, because it's like a weight off your shoulders to go, oh my goodness, I'm not the only one who feels this in life. So I think you're right by encouraging people to talk, whether it's somebody in their life or a friend or a colleague, or as you said, strand support. It's really good to just open up and have those conversations. And what I would just like to say is, at Strand Support, we are here at all times. We're here on the 3rd floor of Strand House. Please come and reach out at any point. You can email us or phone us or call up. And again, the Students' Union, as you said, Ian, are always there, and they can signpost you up to us as well. And to follow us on the Strand Support Instagram page for anything that's coming up. But, it has helped you. Yeah. Having those conversations has helped you. And to not be scared to do so. No. It's extremely brave. And I just want to say thank you very much for today. So as you sit here today, one last thing, do you feel less lonely and do you feel less angry? Definitely.
Definitely. I was actually having a conversation with someone new this morning, and for anybody out there, this is my advice. This is a few wee tips I could give you that I've actually done over summer. I deleted my social medias. I didn't delete my account, but I deleted the apps.
Okay.
Social media can actually lead to more loneliness. When you start seeing people posting that they're here, they're posting there, they're with these people or with there, and you're not going or you're not there, you're not able to go. And then they have those conversations about what this big trend is and you know nothing about it. You're more lonely in that. So I took a break from social media. I started focusing on me. Got more into scripture, just started going to the gym properly, just doing workouts, trying to connect with friends, really close friends, and meet in person. And I mean, for me, just watching all my childhood movies, going back to like that feeling of a child where you didn't care what anybody thought, you just loved being in life. That was something that really helped me. And I mean, for anyone, and I mean this for like anybody out there, you need to realize there's only one you. So don't be afraid to hide your real you, especially when you start somewhere new. If that was you growing up like you were, like I was in school, you try and fit in and you're not going in that right place. Don't make the same mistake I did starting here. Instead, there's only one you. Share who you are. And I promise you, people will love you for that. As soon as I started sharing it, people actually started saying, oh, I started getting my sense of humor back, started laughing a bit more. I was more calm. I was more, like, didn't get angry as much. I just let things go past me. And if you've ever been on your way to Strand in the morning, those drivers,
Yes.
you almost lose your patience there. But I started becoming more calm and just being myself. And people notice that.
Yeah.
And I promise you, they will love the real you. And if you're not, as I said, if you're afraid to talk to even someone Strand support, like I'm happy to share my story, but I'm also here to talk to. And my advice for anybody who is in a friendship group, if you come in and you see somebody sitting on their own, go and say hello. And I know that's awkward. It is very awkward going up, hi, how are you? Maybe they're just waiting in friends, but that one conversation could change somebody's life.
Yeah.
You can save somebody's life with just one encounter. So never be afraid to just get yourself out there and just go up and say hello. And I promise you, in the end, people will see the real you and they'll love you for it.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I think that's a really positive note to end on there. And what we will say is if you see Ian in Betty's or around
Sausage
campus,
roll time.
sausage roll time, go and say hello and he'll say hello back.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you.